Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Learn Analytics. Today, I'll be walking through a marketing analytics case study. And in this case study video, I'll be going over the prompt of the case study, how we could potentially approach it, the raw data as well, and also show you the solution of how we addressed the case study. So hopefully you would find this useful and helpful in your journey around learning data and analytics. So, okay, without further ado, let's dive to it. So here's the case study. The case study prompt, company ABC, company that is specialized in mobile marketing, enabling brands to have direct personalized conversations with their consumers via text message and email. Some of the primary features of the product include list growth, which is enabling brands to capture and store their customers' phone numbers in a compliant and high conversion way. Journeys, sending text message based on users' behavior on the website. For example, adding item in shopping cart but not checking out. Campaigns, which are proactive merchant communications to customers through text, such as new product drops and sales announcements. So here you have some images how list growth looks like, how the journey looks like, as well as how campaigns look like. So how does the company actually make their money? So ABC company drives revenue for merchants when text message recipients make purchases. ABC generates revenue for each text message sent to consumers. So what we're asked here is to draft up a dashboard with some key metrics highlighting the health of ABC main product features. This dashboard is for executive leadership and should mock visuals of the main metrics and list all the other relevant metric categories and metrics you would like to visualize. Include one page, 3 to 5 bullet summary with key takeaways for the executive team. Use data provided to summarize trends and charts. List out any metrics you would like to include. That's not necessarily in the data file. So I think pretty straightforward. Let's take a look at the data. So as we mentioned, starting out with list growth, data is broken out by month, right? You could see from first month 2020 of January to latest 2023 of December. You have few different fields, impressions for desktop, SMS subscriptions for desktop, email subs for desktop, impressions for mobile, SMS subs for mobile, email subs for mobile. So you have impressions, you have subscriptions, right? Either from desktop or from mobile. So like one of the things that I would think about is like, for example, how many of those SMS messages, SMS subscriptions came from those unique impressions, right? So that could be a ratio of itself. So here, let's take a look at also campaigns and journeys. So from the campaigns data, very similar structure in terms of the months. We have the number of sends, we have the number of clicks, we have number of conversions, number of opt-outs. We also have attributed revenue. So 5 unique fields. Previous, we had 6, right? Similar, you would probably be interested in looking at like what conversion rates are from number of sends, right? Pretty inquisitive, pretty, type of metrics like that. That could be its own unique field of itself, right? Conversion to sends could definitely, create graphs when we're going to do some exploratory analysis, right? Could definitely easy way to do that within Google Sheets, you know, create graphs of this nature. But let's hide that again. So 5 unique type of fields here for campaigns. You also have journeys, right, which is similar, very similar data set in terms of like broken out by months. You have number of signups, product viewed, add to cart. These are unique trigger types. You have messages with sends. You have sends, you have clicks, you have conversions, you have opt-outs, and you also have attributed revenue. So like something for this that I would do is I would take this data and sort of like slice it up by creating something like a pivot table, which I would find it like much more useful because it has that unique trigger type there, right? You could see. So you could see broken out. Maybe let's put trigger type here, right? And maybe let's just drag in number of sends, for example, to just see some of those like trends, and then very similarly, we could like put that into a chart type of format. Could do that. Yeah. So similar, type of exploratory data analysis that you could potentially do. You could definitely take all this data and, use some type of coding language if you're familiar with, like for example, like Python, and you could just very well structured data, so it's easy to pretty much manipulate. Um, yeah, so I won't be diving too much of like the exploratory analysis here, but definitely, yeah, like just wanted to show you how that data set looks like. So I think in this case study, it was more important to really like focus on, I think less on the technicals, but more on like how you would take that raw data and try to synthesize that, right? Like how would you try to create a dashboard that executive team could like look at and be like interested or know sort of like the health around like are the campaigns working? Are the journey growth working? Are the yeah, journey list growth working. So I just want to show you the solution that I was able to craft up, and maybe gives you an idea of like how, um, like what I talk about around like synthesizing information, because you can see there's raw data. There's a lot of also analysis that you might drive, but you might not actually really need it in a actual dashboard, but more like for you to look and understand the data. So for the dashboard side, I wanted to draft something that was like very easily digestible. So I broke it out into three different sections, right? As there's three different products here, which is growth, journey, campaigns. So really wanted to also like have these filters, right, where it's easy to for the stakeholders to actually like look at their data even more, right? Like things of that nature. So it's sort of like when we look at marketing analytics or product analytics, it's sort of pretty much like a funnel type of like view, right? You would take a look at, what are the number of total impressions, what are the subscriptions, right? Like see if we're seeing any unique trends from that. You would look at sort of like those ratios that I briefly talked about, which is like quite important, I would say, because it's not enough just for users to see. It's sort of like our is it working, right? Like is it leading to actual like subscriptions? Is it actual leading to like revenue or members actually using our product, right? So like I think those are more important questions to sort of like drill down on. So you can see subs to impression, SMS subs to impression, email subs to impressions, and then journey. I delve into very similar type of logic. You could see journey sends total attributed revenue. You could see clicks to send, which only focus on the add cart. You can see conversion rate, focusing only to add cart, and as well as opt-out rates, right? This is also fairly important to take a look at. So you could see actually opt-out rate was, been hovering around that 2% um, range, 2% number. So you could also see sort of like the highlight of ability to use like red and green to have a cross comparison month to month. That's quite important as well. And for campaigns, yeah, like just very similar. Campaign sends attributed revenue. How much revenue do we actually get from these campaigns? So clicks to send percentage, conversion rate percentage, and as well as opt-out rate for campaigns. So I think this dashboard's like very easy to for someone to digest, very easy to really track certain things, which is like very important as business wants to see, are we going in the right direction, right? Are our marketing yielding some return? So next, this is where I really wanted to dive into some portions of like where, data insights sort of come to life, right? Like I think a lot of those exploratory analysis sections, like what do we want to talk about to someone that needs to make an action or understand where we are. So some of the things that I did highlight here was list growth, very relatively strong, right? You could see strong subscriptions, mobile subs, definitely in the win here. So steady month-to-month increase in SMS and email subscriptions, demonstrating effective subscription strategy. So other things to consider back in the prompt that we care about are the members and users we're bringing in actually have a good LTV, right? Which is lifetime value. So like, and also data that wasn't mentioned here is around cost of acquisition, right? Common termed as CAC. Important to note, like of the members that we bring in, are they quality users and members that drive better value for us? So as well as journeys. So I think we should continue to leverage sign up triggers. The sign up trigger sends generates the highest conversions and attributed revenue. So here you could see some of the graphs, journeys, right? I broke it out by the cart, product, sign up, and also a total segment. So you could see. So yeah, like, and then also attributed revenue, yeah, similar trend, right? You could see. So promising conversions for add to cart, holding steady. And then as for campaigns, the volume of messages sent is consistently growing, but decreasing click to send ratio identifies opportunities to improve personalization, timing, and target to resonate with consumers. So yeah, you could see click to send percentage, sends, as well as attributed revenue. So yeah, fairly. So some of these data sets I did not include this particular numbers here. More importantly, was just to showcase like, okay, your logic and your sort of like presentation skill and what type of data insights you're able to think about. And usually case studies are a fairly short amount of time. So it's important to, really folks want to know like how you're able to take some data, answer a bunch of relatively important business questions and present it. Case study that I had a chance to do, and yeah, hope you enjoyed that. Thank you.